What's up, guys? Sunday conversation. This Sunday conversation might be long because I have a lot to say today. A lot good, a lot bad, a lot ugly. But the very first thing, I don't even want to do that. Let me see. Let's go to the free box. See, all this is waiting, so you're probably gonna get to see this after, because I'm gonna start streaming after this video. So it's just here. But for first, we're gonna do that. And then I'll think about during the stream if I actually want a card flip again. Yeah, I know. I gotta do everything. Free ninja requirement. Yeah, I know. It's just gonna keep showing that. Fuck, whatever. Okay, so first things off, guys, so that I got May and everything like that. Let me donate 100k right now and then see how much coin I have, and then maybe do another 200k, something like that. So let's rock out 100k right now. Group donations. Because I don't always want this to be on cooldown. You see, I'm pretty much, we're at 9, so everything is close to being maxed except for taijutsu, ninjutsu, and recovery. I would suggest leaving these 3 last because they have the least impact in all your stats right here. This is actually pretty good, but I can kind of deal without it for now because you can put it into 8 gates if you want to, so kind of, so whatever. But going taijutsu into that's 45, and then I'll go to ninjutsu, and I'll go to life recovery. I may not get the chance because we might level up, so there's that. Alright, very first thing. So you notice people complaining about how I use May. Let me tell you guys something. Let me explain something to you guys. The game is about how you want to influence your influence on the game, not about min-maxing. If you min-max, most of the time you're going to lose because min-maxing is very obviously countered. And what I mean by that is, if somebody knows that you have May and Ao using them a certain way, all they have to do is counter it and you lose. Literally, there will be nothing that you can do. You're going to be butthurt. You're going to have all the money that you spent. You're going to lose because your strategy is very straightforward and easily countable. When you do stuff like that, that is bad gaming. Bad gaming all the way around. That's why I don't typically do the meta, and I don't typically do what people expect you to do with the character, because if everybody expects you to do with the character, everybody knows what to do on the hindsight and expect how to counter you. That is not how you play games, especially games that are competitive. That's how you lose games that are competitive, when people know how to exactly counter you. When you do things outside of the box where it can't be countered, or where you have to actually think a little bit, that kind of screws people a little bit, because now they're facing a person that they can't predict. They can't sit up there and say, hey, you know what? He has this burst and this kind of like this speed team. Let me be tanky and F all that up with Earth Main. Or if you know somebody has a CC person, you can go with lightning and have a whole team full of lightning that can't be CC'd and murder them the first 2 rounds. And that's if you know. Like, this is obvious examples of stuff. If you know somebody has Empress build, the best thing that you can do with an Empress build is you CC them. That's how you stop an Empress build. Or you overpower them. With an overpowered team is a team that actually causes damage as AoE and weaken your entire team, and then can actually shut you down a little bit. So actually, let me explain that a little bit too, because you hear me say it a lot. It's basically, I'm using terms from other games and putting it into this game, but it still holds sight. You have a tanky team. You know, the tanky teams, but you're going to see it a lot now that, you know, everybody has a Katsuchi. Well, not everybody, but most of the stronger people have a Katsuchi, and they put them with Earth Main. That's some cheese right there. That's a tank unlimited. You're screwed as hell when it comes to that. So you basically need to burn their asses or poison them and shut them down. CCing isn't going to work because you're not killing them. They're just tanking, sitting there with shields looking at you like, bruh, and you're going to lose in the timeout. So you're going to have to burn them somehow to keep them from healing and poison them. So you're going to need somebody like Great Ninja War Conqueror and Daedra, or you can run around with maybe, hey, May is there now too for that. So that's what you can do for that with Earth. With the healer teams, which people really don't use the healer teams, but I'll give you an example, guys. The healer teams are strong, especially somebody like Hokage Tsunade, Water Main, and Sailor Sakura with Sage Naruto or Kuruma Link Naruto, a person with that team beat the hell out of everybody in the world tournament in China, all the way up until the end, until they faced the 400k guy, which there's nobody who's going to beat him right now until somebody gets close to that power. I don't think anybody is. Like most of the people are like around 300 to 320k, and he's in there with his 400k god armor and like damn near maxing every goddamn thing. Like there's just nothing that you can do with that person right now. It's the equivalent to the people of being 70 to 75k in North America. There's nothing you can do with those people either. So yeah. So definitely don't sleep on those healer teams. You can do that right now. You can run out there with Sailor Sakura, Water Main, and Tsunade right now and screw somebody's life. Totally. Like right now, it could happen. So don't sleep on that. The fire teams, the reason why people are using the fire teams is because the fire teams are overpower. And that's the term that you hear me using a lot. And what I mean by overpower is that they cause damage to everybody, and they have a chance to CC because the fireman can CC twice. Then you could put him together with somebody like Mei, which just sucks, but you can do that. And then like that's an overpower right there, because now you're taking damage on a grand scale and you can hardly fight back. So if you face somebody who has Mei and Susanoo Itachi, you're gonna lose majority of the time if you don't have somebody who's immune to it, like lightning, or somebody who can get rid of it. And if they happen to nail the person who can get rid of the ailments, then you're kind of screwed right there already. So it's pretty hard to fight an overpower team. So that's when you hear me say overpower, that's what I mean. Let's go over here, right here. And you have the Blitz teams. The Blitz teams are the guys who buff and just straight up try to kill you first round. The Raikage teams you see are like that. The Guy teams are like that, where they straight buff first round and can screw you first round and you're just dead because they have like the increased buffs. Like you could put Guy together where Hashirama and basically first round TKO somebody. Like especially if you get like their main or something like that. It's a little bit harder to do it to Earth mains because you can't necessarily nail them, but you can nail somebody else. You can start off with somebody who's an initiator, which leads me to the next version of teams, the initiator teams. The initiator teams are the people who are going to combo literally first round. So you have people like Kiba, who I've showed you in the past. You have people like Great Ninja or Kankuro. You have people like Sage Naruto. In the future, what you see me do in China is you see me use my Wind main as the initiator, because she's a very strong initiator, and that screws people first round too. Like in arena, it sucks all the way around in arena to murder people like that. Why did this auto? So yeah, there's that. So then you also have what I would call the balance team, which is what you're basically looking at right here. You need tanks, you need healers, and you need a guy who support. So the tank in the case of my team is actually Lightning Main and Kimimaru, which I'm cheesing right now because I'm using the attack tank. I'm actually using two, but Kimimaru is probably one of the best overall tanks in the game because he's attack and defense at the same time. And Lightning Main is tanky because he can be immune to status ailments for 2 rounds and also heal himself back with the amount of damage that he's done on a percentage. And the higher amount of damage that he does, the higher he can heal back. So if you can make him tanky enough to handle being blitzed for 1 or 2 rounds, he can basically Chidori Blade all his life back, which is pretty good. And it goes with the nice passive that Hashirama has. And pretty much because he makes him buffed, and then you have Lightning Main's buff on top of that. Lightning Main, even if he can get damn near taken to like 10% health, can get majority of his health back, which makes him a pretty good tank. And then I have Sailor Sakura in the back who can heal more on top of that. So this is what you call a balance team right there. You have to do a lot to kill them, and it's scary for people and everybody in S1. I figured out yesterday that I can take your hits against the stronger people. I just have to get stronger myself. Which you see, I'm at 35k right now, which now I'm going all after power. I don't give a fuck anymore about seals. I might try a few more times with Dari because I actually want to replace Kimimaru with Dari. So if I can actually get that, GG. I'm just saying it right now. If I can actually get him there, and then I'll turn him into an attack tank too, the same way that I'm doing with Kimimaro. It's gonna be a little bit harder, and I'm gonna have to actually spend to make him an attack tank. But if I could pull that off and actually get him, then there's gonna be some scary shit going on for my team. Now, as far as how I use Mei, I use Mei according to my lightning. I'm not going to go to fire. I'm not going to go to earth. I'm not going to go to wind. I'm going to use it within my structure, within my character, because I'm a lightning main, and you can do that. With that said, on top of that, you can actually bend and twist certain characters to your will. Some characters won't do that because their kits just aren't meant for that. But Mizukage, she can be used by anybody. Straightforward, period. She just has one particular buff that is very situational and can be shut down easily, which is what I said in the video. It can be easily shut down. In fact, all you have to do, also other team has to do, is pretty much end her barrier, and it never comes back. Like, never, period. Which sucks ass. And you see people are complaining and people are disliking the video and everything else like this, but I did make one mistake because I misworded the passive, but the passive it's still 25% on top of the additive damage from Hashirama. So like okay, I misworded, but it's still the same damn thing. Like, you still, and then on top of that, it's even better on top of the misworded because you can actually use female characters towards the male characters. So that's even better, and that's all me. That's my fault. And that's the next thing that I'm going to actually talk about. When you're a YouTuber and you deal professionally with a lot of different games, you're not going to get everything right. It's impossible. There's nobody who does it, period. Not any of us who deal with high volume and covering games. You can go to Total Biscuit, you can go to Dado, you can go to anybody, my boy Magamu. We're not going to always get everything right. And there's going to be times where we're going to make a mistake because we're doing in high volume. We're doing in a way that, you know, you look at something and you think that it's okay, and then sometimes it's just not okay. But then the video's out there, and then people are like, oh, well, you did this, or ha ha ha, because people always want to see somebody fail at something and poke fun and troll and everything else. But in hindsight, I would like to see you handle what I handle. I like to see you play things and play certain things at the same time and be 100%. That to err is human, and it's not going to happen. I like his name, Captain Levy. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Everybody has points where it's going to be an issue, or maybe you thought you understood something correctly and you did not understand it correctly, which leads me to my next point, and it's something that I never talked about because I was asked not to until it was all squared away, and now it's starting to be squared away. So we're going to talk about it now. Somebody decided in their divine wisdom, which was an extreme mistake on their part and an extreme motivation of a hater, and I know it's somebody in S1 who did it, to decide to report me and try to have me banned from the game completely because they said that I was trying to mislead people and give people bad information. Now, like I said in the beginning, like just now, like about 2 or 3 minutes ago, there is times where you're not always going to get things right, and all I could do is apologize for that. It's not something that I intentionally do. Sometimes it just happens. Like, I deal with a lot of things, and you are not going to be 100% by that. But for somebody to actually try to go to the company and have me banned, the company didn't do it, of course, because they was like, you're a moron. But somebody actually did it, and it was somebody from S1. Now, I have my thoughts on who did it, but they didn't tell me exactly. All they said is that they're going to handle it, and if they really do find out that mods and everything else were used in the incorrect fashion, they're going to ban them for life themselves. That's what I've been told, and that's all my involvement in it. I reported the situation because I received the email, and I was like, bruh, like, seriously? Somebody's gonna try to do something like that? And I told the company because for whatever reason, people thought that I really can't contact the company, but I can. I actually, like, literally almost have them on speed dial. So why? And then you see me getting into other Tencent games, and you see I'm the original first person, literally, from America to cover this game and had permission to cover this game. So why the hell would you try to do something like that? Because I can actually talk to the people and say, hey, look at this, like, look at what's going on right there. So why somebody would be in their infinite wisdom and try to do something like that? All they did was endanger themselves in their own account, trying to endanger mine. And then on top of that, it's a low class to try to get somebody banned from a game. I see people curse and carry on and even say things like the N-word and disrespect people all the time. I don't run to try to ban them from the game. If they get out of hand to the point where it's like, hey, if they get out of hand to the point where they're pissing off the entire server and it's really that much of a problem, then I'll go to the company and say, hey, look, this guy's kind of out of control here. He's disrespecting everybody. Can you please do something about him? Then I'll do that. But for somebody to be a straight up snitch and try to do that, like that low class move right there, they better hope the company never tells me the exact name who did it and the people who did it, because I will frick it. You want to talk about rage? If I find out, I'm just saying it right now, if I find out, period, you're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch the fire, because you don't do shit like that. You don't do stuff like that. That was extremely low class. And say, what if I didn't happen to know the company and they got away with that? That's low class. So whoever in S1 actually did that, F you. You're a fucking moron. And if I find out who did it, I'm coming for you. Literally. It's not going to be cute. I'm just saying it right off the bat. I was asked, not to say anything until they did their investigation. They just did their investigation, and I got everything else, and they said they'll handle the matter, and then I can discuss it. So in future, everybody knows not to sit there and lie and use mods as a weapon, because there's going to be repercussions for that. Big time repercussions. So I hope whatever mod and whoever did it, I hope it was worth it for you. I hope you laughed a whole lot, because it's going to be a major problem for you in the future. So moving along, and I really hate that I even had to say that, and you even have to say stuff like that, because it was the most low class thing I ever seen in my life. You can dislike somebody, but don't do things like that, because I actually do stuff like this professionally. For somebody to actually go ahead and try to do something like that, you're affecting something that I do professionally, that I actually cover for multiple companies, and I don't appreciate that. That's officially like spitting in somebody's face, and I don't like shit like that. So I hope it was truly funny for the person, because it's not going to be funny for much longer. Now that we had the negative out the way, let's talk about the positive. Like I said, this Sunday conversation was going to be long. I had to go in, and we got to discuss shit now, because people getting it twisted. Like, I can't really necessarily come for them. Just because it's a game doesn't mean I can't come for you. You can lose your account for doing shit like that. But just keep it real right now. Alright, so let's see. Now the next thing we're gonna talk about is the state, the events, and while I keep going back and forth, I stopped for a second, but we had to discuss that, because I need to make it painfully clear for whoever did that there's gonna be repercussions for that. The next thing that I actually go on is the event for this week. Now, the problem for some events, if there were actually people, is they have the unfortunate distinction of following the lucky board. When you as an event, if you the lucky board is like the end guy in the high school, like, and then you're like the nerd, like following the end guy. So the next event afterwards always looks pale in comparison, and that's the case right now. But then the characters that we have this time around, we have Conan, we have Playboy Sasuke, we have Shino, and it just doesn't, like, you just look at those characters, you're like, like, most people who are going to use Conan already have Conan, and people who are thinking about it probably don't have many Akatsuki to begin with right now. So the only person that wait, stop. Let me just get that right now, because I was going to do that later, but let's just do that now. And what is it? Give me coin. I'll take coin. Let's go attack him now. All right, so these events now aren't that great, and the thing that I would always tell you guys is to go for power. You have good points right now. The actual seals are a little bit cheaper overall right now. You have like the cheap 10 seals, and you have a chance to get Great Ninja or Kiba in those seals, which is pretty cool, and I like that because I like to use Kiba in my teams for ranked battle. Well, right now that might change actually, literally today, as soon as I get May up. But I like to use Kiba, and Kiba is a good initiator. He's a good first round initiator with Akamaru, so it's definitely good to actually, if you're going to seal spam, to try to spam out those seals to see what you can get. So I don't know right now what I'm actually going to do for seals, because I may just leave the whole Sage Naruto alone, because I don't really, if I get diarrhea, I'm not going to use them. Sage Naruto is not going to get used. I'm just going to use the initiator, my lightning as an initiator, which you can actually do that. So I don't know. It just depends. It depends on how it rolls. I might just stay in Kage, and then once I get diarrhea, I'm not going to seal anymore. I'm just going to save my seals for the next seal that comes along, and not even go after any of those anymore. Just maybe go after like let the free rolls drop where they're going to drop. Like Sage will eventually appear in the Sage roll anyways. So it's whatever. I'll just let however that's going to run. Now with that said, this week I suggest you go for power. Go for power. Go for everything that is going to give you some type of power. Now we see here today, this is for the outfits and stuff like that. I'm kind of like, I'm not like too enamored with this. I probably wouldn't even bother with that. It's the summoning scroll. You kind of don't need anything to bother with that. I would skip this, and I would either go for this or this right now. Piece together your outfit. You can piece it together like over time, you know, when you get some points. Let me do this now because I had the free, which is unfortunate. Let's click this out. Alright, so me in person, I need coin right now because I'm draining all my coin and throwing it into the inner gates, because the inner gates are boss. The inner gates are Bay. I'm just saying they are. They're more Bay. Anything else here, you guys need to really pay attention to that. If you're not maxing your inner gates, you're kind of failing. Then after I spam this out, which may not actually happen, then I would go after that, but I'm kind of not that interested in that right now. Yes, it is power, don't get me wrong. It's a little bit of extra power because we don't even have the stuff really necessarily right now to upgrade it. So it's kind of like just a little bit of a power boost that you have to spend money on. I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. Like I said, need coin, so that's just with me. We spend this out, see what I get. It better not land on Itachi. I need coin, so I'm fine with that. Totally rebate spending. Like you see, this is how much I have spent so far, and I don't care about Hiruzen right now, so it's neither here nor there. But Hiruzen, like if you guys want to go after that and you're gonna spend this is just automatic, so it kind of doesn't matter. Christmas event, click this in, and it's just whatever. This is free, you can't really do anything about this. And ninja character plates, you see I have a few plates, and I'll actually worry about that in a bit. But again, you can go after this if you want more seals, or after that. These you should have already, so unless you're new, and I wouldn't even bother with this. Like whatever, like Tarun is actually in the seal now, and then you can get him relatively easy. Tarun is a direct upgrade over this, so I wouldn't even be bothered with Shino anymore right now, and I would just get coin. That's me. It's me. Do your chase missions, of course. I shouldn't have to say that, but yeah. Is this time? Yes, it is. So, like I said, definitely go in and go after power this week. This week is just all about the power. It's about the power, dog. Can't do that anymore. 20 coupons. That works. And that's about it. That's really all I have for you. I hate to actually have talked this long because I usually don't do that for these type of videos, but I had to let it be known because that I'd never seen something so classless in my life as what happened or what somebody tried to do. So yeah, I'm not mad because I can actually talk to the company, so nothing came of it towards me. I just didn't like the fact that somebody is in S1 would actually do that. So somebody in like you guys, all of us in S1, we got a dick among us. We got a real dick among us, like somebody who's really low class. And it's sad. It's sad when there's people like that in the world. So it's unfortunate. Don't worry, the company's gonna deal with it. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to tell me because they know that I'm going to like break my foot off the person in the best way I see fit. So they're probably not going to tell me because they already know how I do out here. Like, they know I'm going to get them. So, yeah. At any rate, on the bottom left is going to be more Naruto Online videos. The bottom right is going to be the MMO show. Top right is going to be Lady Legacy. It's wifey. Top left is going to be random video, and of course that notification bell so you guys can be first in the notification squad, and I'll see you guys soon. And I do apologize because I did not want to actually do this video, but I was actually told that I need to say something, so I said it, and here we are. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.